Thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're here. My name is Jerrel. I develop games for a living. Today I want to talk gaming, specifically with Nintendo's new trailer for the Virtual Boy. I know this sounds crazy, but it looks like Nintendo is actually launching new Virtual Boy games. So, if you weren't aware of my work in the past, I developed the final games for the 3DS and the Wii U, and I had to work pretty closely with Nintendo on this as it was a very tight timeline to develop these games. And there's one game that I didn't get to finish. I had promised Nintendo a number of games. It was 7, and I couldn't finish this one because I had burned myself out. I was getting like 1 to 2 hours of sleep every night as I worked on my games, collaborated with Nintendo. So there is one game for the 3DS that is about 70% complete that I didn't get to complete and finish. And I've just been sitting on this, hanging on. I'm not sure if I want to bring this to the Switch at some point or not, but it's called Silver Falls Vicarious Brothers, and it was inspired by the Virtual Boy, and the entire game was presented in a way that looked like it was taking place on the Virtual Boy in stereoscopic 3D. I've had people ask me over the years, please release the ROM. I'm not sure entirely if I can do that, but I've started, and I was just going to let that sit for a bit longer, but Nintendo released a peripheral, which I think is sick as hell. I give this my actual rating of sick as hell. And this is the Virtual Boy peripheral. Now, the reason why I like this so much is that it is not necessary. You don't need this to play video games, right? You don't need this piece of plastic. You open this up and you dick your Switch 2 into there, and then you put your little peepers in there, and your optical receptors are able to play games in stereoscopic 3D in the black and red Virtual Boy. Now, the reason why I like this device so much, as I said, it's not necessary, but Nintendo made it because it's fun, right? It's just, it sort of stirs your imagination a little bit. It's something tactile, it's interesting, it's neat. It's not necessary, but it's fun, and you really just get immersed in it. And what I really, really respect about this is not going to make a huge profit, right? Nintendo is not going to move huge numbers and bring in massive revenue. They did it because it's fun and also because it's funny. Nintendo is acutely aware that the Virtual Boy has been the butt of jokes of the games industry. It has been not good on their reputation as being a product that was a commercial and critical failure. And they know that the internet kind of dogpiles on it and says, yeah, this thing sucked back then. And to me, it is so interesting that a large company like this, a console manufacturer, can look at that and instead of getting butthurt like Sony would get butthurt over absolutely everything, and then tears streaming from their faces saying, "I'm not crying, you're crying, you're the one that's butthurt." Nintendo looked at that and thought, "Okay, so how do we turn this into something fun?" And they made it into something fun. And so now this is a situation of Nintendo laughing with us, and they said, "Okay, yeah, it wasn't very good back then, but you know what? Let's have some fun with it. Let's roll with it." And this is also especially interesting to me because of the emulators that came out for the 3DS. Nintendo is acutely aware of all the work that people are doing with homebrew and emulators on the 3DS. And Nintendo could have put a stop to all of that. Nintendo, I know for a fact, because I've worked closely with Nintendo, they could have stopped all of these emulators. We have the Virtual Boy emulators on the 3DS, and people saying, man, we really wanted this. This was a missed opportunity. We really wanted the Virtual Boy library officially on the 3DS. You can get it unofficially through Homebrew, and Nintendo very, very easily. Nintendo could have said, no, stop. We're putting a legal stop to this. You cannot do emulators and Virtual Boy ROMs on the 3DS. They did not do that. What Nintendo did was they listened to their customers. They said, you guys seem to be passionate about this. You guys seem to enjoy that. Here you go, man. If you want the Virtual Boy, you've got it. And Nintendo gave us the Virtual Boy again. This is so interesting to me, and it's so heartening to see a leader in the games industry listening to their customers and then actually giving their customers that support them for years, giving them something fun to do, giving them a way to engage with a brand that they are asking for. This is something that I would really like to see more console manufacturers in the industry doing is actually listening to their customers and then giving the customers something what they want. But this is so cool because nobody expected this. It's so unnecessary. You don't need this. You can play Virtual Boy games on your Switch 2 without this. This is just fun. And if you're going to complain about something that is fun and optional, then it's very sad and I feel very sorry for you. But maybe one day you'll take a break from the internet and go outside and just chill, man. Chill, baby. So let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer that Nintendo has shared with us regarding the Virtual Boy. But before I go, I'm going to contact Nintendo. I've been saying this for a while now, but I'm going to contact Nintendo and see if I can be allowed to finish this and then actually use the Virtual Boy hardware. Because I think that would be exciting. And I have been holding off on it because I'm finishing a number of games that I'm developing right now, and I was thinking maybe Nintendo's not that interested in something like this, but Nintendo has just launched new games for the Virtual Boy. These are previously unreleased. So let's watch the trailer. I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way here, so I'm going to have to employ my shrinking technique. Ha! Okay, now that I'm the right size, let's go ahead and start the trailer. So something I really like about this is Nintendo actually put an effort to create this cinematic scene, which they didn't need to. This isn't necessary, but this is very much of the era where the Virtual Boy comes from, and that is the mid-1990s. Every commercial had some sort of cinematic scene, a story to tell. They had live actors. They didn't just show gameplay like we do these days. And it was just a cool way to get more involved. So this is stuff that's already out there. Just doing a recap. You have your Super Mario Bros. You have your Wario. Telro Boxer. And this is what I forgot what it's called. And then now there's
that'll challenge your reality.
They're moving fast. They're moving at a fair clip here.
But that's not
I'm not
all.
sure what that shooting game is, but that looks... Wait, I don't know what that one is. I don't know what this one is, but I'm going to check the... Everyone has the ROMs for these, right? Everyone has them. But actually, no, I could just check the store now. See, that's so funny in my mind because, yeah, of course, I enjoy classic games and I really enjoy emulators, right? We have your vintage classic consoles. The vintage classic consoles are the actual genuine consoles from the era. The retro consoles are the new consoles that can play older games. Retro is the most misused word on the internet. People are using retro to describe old games, but that's not what retro means. Retro is something new that is designed to be like something that's old. So this is not a retro game. This is a vintage game, or you can use the word classic. It's a classic game.
But that's not all.
But Nintendo has introduced new games, and I believe these are those two
previously unreleased games.
So I'm not sure what these are, but this one obviously is like a it's a little bit like an on-rails shooter with environments that you can crash into. So it looks like it's similar to Star Fox, but with environments that you must navigate, which I think Star Fox Zero, Star Fox Zero.
But that's not all.
Indoor areas with a
Zero Racers.
This looks fun. Let's see here.
2 previously unreleased games have.
So we have a rank a limit. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, look, we have a mini map here in the corner. We have that's moving at a fair clip, isn't it? 978 kilometers. Okay, rapid. I think rapid, in modern terms, we would use the word boost. So this is available August 4th. That's in a couple days. Rapid, you get your boosts there. Machine ×3. That's probably the amount of lives that you have. And you have, what is power? Is that your life? So the wording is so interesting. I believe that is your health. I believe that's your number of lives, and I think that's your boost. So the wording is very different. There are laps. Okay, interesting. Very interesting.
And
it looked like the camera turned at this point. So I'm not sure what that means, if there's other perspectives that are going on there. But I want to play this one. I really enjoy it.
But that's not all.
Okay.
Zero Racers.
There were enemies on the wall. There appeared to be an enemy there. So this looks fun. Obviously, it's kind of hard to look at this just as it is, but in 3D games like this make way more sense when you have the stereoscopic thing going on. So you have a fun little character here. This is a fun kind of heads-up display that kind of tells us that the Virtual Boy is actually quite capable, because the heads-up display isn't limited to just restrictive tiles and blockiness, because we have kind of a free-flowing form that generally we would see in modern gaming platforms, because we need more RAM to store all the visuals and everything. Like, so, for example, like this character is sort of free-form. She's not restricted into a tile. She's sort of sharing space with this visual element here. It's kind of interesting. So we have a heart here. I don't know what all these hearts mean. I don't know what that means. Surely,
And
as you play the game, you would understand what that means.
the
Is that
upper.
proper scaling? Ooh, there, yeah. So I suppose this,
And
I have a development kit or development environment for the Virtual Boy, so I could make new Virtual Boy games if I would like. I don't know if I should ask Nintendo about that, but I do have. It's not the official dev kit; it's the homebrew development environment. But I can
Zero
make new Virtual Boy games.
racers.
Um,
And
I haven't started on it because I'm too busy with my commercial games. Right, I have to earn a living making games that sell. And if I were to make a Virtual Boy game homebrew, I would distribute that for free. I'm not sure if that's actually scaling or not. Let's
racers.
see.
And
Let's take a look.
And
Oh, yes, it is. There is scaling. So it's
the
using something like a mode 7. You see that background just dropped into the darkness. I think there are 5. I think there's 5 shades of red. No, I think there's 4 shades of red and no, I think there's 5. I'm going to stick by 5 shades of red. I'm not sure if that includes the black or not. This looks fun. I'll play it.
previously
And to be honest, like this one, I'm not sure how
unreleased
much
game.
you would want to play this one, because what is the mechanical depth of
The
this? What
unreleased
is the mechanical
game.
appeal of playing this? That's what I consider when I'm designing my games. I switch off when I'm playing games and just set out to enjoy them.
previously
But when I'm designing a game, I deeply consider what is the mechanical appeal. Why would someone play this game as opposed to playing something else that they already really
been-
like? We have a very 90s anime-looking character with
Unearthed.
floating balls, and you know what? Some people really like balls.
Earth.
And the reason why we
unreleased
like balls
games
so
have
much is
been
because they're
unearthed.
easy to draw and animate.
Earth.
If you want to return home, you must find the 4 spirits. That sounds fun. The Sailor Moon type lady.
Virtual Boy Nintendo Classics.
They didn't really
Available
show us that
now
much of the
with a
game, but you
Nintendo-
know what? I'll go ahead and give it a try. I'm really interested in seeing that. And if you're interested in seeing my latest game that I shipped earlier this year, that is The Hero of Destiny Was Killed by the Final Boss. That is currently on sale on the Switch eShop right now, so head on over to the Switch eShop. This game is an action RPG wherein you have to build a team of party members that are just NPCs. The Hero of Destiny gets killed at the beginning of the story, and the characters that you have to recruit don't have any special weapons. They don't have magic. They have niche abilities, and it's a little bit like a deck builder where you are treating the game as a puzzle, and you have to find a way to get through the final dungeon where every enemy can basically kill you instantly. And it's kind of a wish list game for me. I implemented a lot of features that I thought would just be so cool and fun in an action RPG. You have a huge opportunity to experiment with different party members and different weapon types. Anyway, that's The Hero of Destiny Was Killed by the Final Boss. It's available. It's on sale right now, 30% off. Hey, thanks for spending some time with me, hanging out. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Okay, I'm gonna go watch Spider-Man. I haven't seen it yet. Okay.